Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at a new product for Mongoose Traveler 2nd Edition, the Borderland. This came out, as of the posting of this video, came out a little under a week ago. And it's a brand new book about the Borderland, which is an area near the Sindalian Empire from Traveler, the Pirates of Drenax and such. So this is just a neat little area. It's one that's been looked at before, but it's an area that I really enjoy. So let's take a look. Our book is written by Martin J. Doherty, always a good choice. And then we get a map of the immediate area of the Borderland. Drenax is right there. And we get Tobias sector and Sindal's right there. And then we get the introduction about how to use this book, which is basically, it's a big old campaign book. They call it a sandbox. I'm actually thinking of this one more as the whole darn playground. There's a lot of fun stuff in here. So then we get other reading ideas, which is different adventures or things that have been published that are set in this area. Drenaxium Companion has quite a few. And then there's the Chariots of Fire from Journal Traveler's Hate Society number 9. And Reach Adventure, the Borderland run. And then we get a look at the Trojan Reach as we continue through. Really nice artwork throughout. We get a look at the Third Imperium and the Aslan Hierate and their presence in the area. And then exploring the Borderland. Why are you out here? What are you doing? And there is the Borderland itself, the subsector, and then the various conventions used in the book, and then the routes. So the trading routes are brought out very clearly right here. Powers and organization. The Aslan Hierate is called out right there. Belters. Borderlands corporations. I love having the little logos. We get the Florian League logo, the Borderland Alliance, all kinds of fun stuff in here. The Florian Aslan Trading Consortium, otherwise known as FATC or Fat Cat, which I really enjoyed. GD Co., who are big players in this area, especially if you've read any of the Pirates of Drenax stuff. They're big in that area as well. And just various other companies. And this is one of the reasons I'm referring to this as a playground beyond a sandbox. There's a ton of stuff in here. And there is a bunch of stuff that gets expanded on within the book and that you as a GM can go ahead and pull out and expand elsewhere. Just lots of good stuff. I love the artwork. Very nice mood to this book. Very immersive. And it took me quite a while to get through all the stuff in this book, which is a good thing. I like a book that just keeps me literally turning pages. Now this just came out, so it's only available as PDF. It'll be out in the next, I think, 3 months as a hardcover, but both are available to pre-order. You can pre-order the hardcover, and then the PDF you get right away through Mongoose's website, or you can go to drive-thru and buy it there. Buy just the PDF there. And then just some tips on how to run a campaign in the Borderland. Really nice artwork. I like that picture. The Wildeman cluster. So now we go ahead and we look at one of the clumps right there, the Wildeman cluster, right there in the Borderland subsector. And you go, wait a minute, this is familiar. Yes, it is. They did this about 10 years ago. Mongoose First Edition published a bunch of supplements for the Wildeman area. And I really enjoyed these, the Wildeman cluster and the various world books that they did. Also written by Martin Doherty. They're still available through drive-thru RPG. I really enjoyed these. These were some of the books that I liked a lot. And this is before I kind of got into Traveler, back into Traveler. I was still playing T20 and occasional Classic Traveler. But I never really got into Mongoose Traveler first. But I did buy some of the supplements, and this was a set I bought. I liked the Borderland. And we get a nice look at a lot of the stuff. Now you're saying, wait a minute, if you've already bought this stuff, why do I need it? Well, the answer is it's been updated and improved. The originals were just black and white, not a ton of illustrations. This has kind of represented everything, and I'm fine with it. I think this is a nice package. I really enjoyed rereading some of this, but also taking a look at how it's been reworked and re-edited to just to make it new and fresh. And one thing I love about this book is we have a small enough focus, narrow enough focus, that we are looking at actual planets and planetary systems. There you go. This is the Acrid system. We get a full map layout of the Acrid system. and what's in it. And I love some of these. This is just so cool. There's the planet map. That's one thing that doesn't uh, happen in a lot of traveler books, is you don't dial into any of the individual planets. This book has a bunch, and you even get tips for adventures on that planet or in that system. We get a stellar meadow, which is a type of agra ship that orbits and grows food. It's just really nice. And there's the agropod that goes with it, and then you can raise cattle on it. You can raise any kind of vegetation, anything like that that you want, with the idea of feeding the planet. Just new, cool ideas. And then we have a resort aeropod for people that want to go into orbit and have some fun. Arunshir, we get a look at that system. And that's pretty much the theme of the book. We get a look at the broader area, and then we dial in and we look at the individual systems. We get maps of the worlds, the main worlds. We get critters. This is one of my absolute favorite names of all time. This is the murder goat, species Arunshir P41, but it's also nicknamed the murder goat, which I love that name. But we get a look at some of the local fauna. There are Aslan settlers in here. Some of these areas have had Ihate conquerors or incursions, and just how you would deal with that. So again, if you're interested in that sort of thing, this book goes nicely with Ways of the Clan. It'll help you flesh out your Aslan, your Ihate group, or your established colony. Next, we go to Corden. Nice look at the system, the planet itself, some creatures that live there. Then we go to Ilgan, or Ilgan, depending on how you want to say it. Get that system. Just really nice. Just oddball. Just the name of a planet. I just think that's pretty cool. And again, we got to look there, and a chubby little critter, and a couple of nasty looking xenomorph-esque type monsters you have to deal with on that planet. And I know I said monsters because these guys fit that description. We got a nice look at the downports, who runs what. We get Pandora, which predates a certain film by a lot. Pandora's been around in Traveler for a long, long time. We get the high port, which looks outstanding. We get nice looks at the low ports, the down port, the high port, and adventure tips throughout. Nice map of the planet. We get Alexander Tallali and his incredible algae. This is just some kind of dilettante scientist, guy with a lot of money but not a lot of degrees, college degrees, and he goes around and does different things, and one of the things he wanted was an algae that would help terraform a planet, and he vanished. Why did he vanish? What happened? Did the big terraformers want him out of the picture because the algae would be so good? Not according to much of what's written about it. The algae didn't do what it was supposed to do, and then that is help terraform the planet, create an atmosphere. But it's still an interesting adventure hook. We have Tanith, and then the system itself. Love that starport. That is so cool looking. And then we got Tanith in detail, the planet itself. I may come back and look at some of these individual planets in a future video. Let me know if you'd be interested in that. We get a little fighter, just a 12-ton displacement fighter for use in this system. We get a system defense boat. Always love an SDB. We get some mysteries of Tanith, and we get some mercenaries. We get lots of mercenary companies that are brought out here, so this will go nicely with your mercenary campaign. You've got about 5 or 6 pages here of just different mercenary companies that operate out of the area. I thought this was really nice. This book has a lot of stuff in it, pretty much something for everybody. We have adventures in Tanith. And then we go to Umemi, and we take a look at that system. Its downport, which is just about a fortress, or starport rather, which is almost a fortress. And then we get a little companion system, the Vatch system, that kind of isn't part of the primary system, but it's its own little secondary system within the same parsec. It's kind of neat. Umemi in detail, there you go. And then how to adventure. You adventure on Umemi, the Grand Duchy of Requil, which is a power group there, and they have their own gunships. Lots of ships throughout this, which I really like. That's a gunship carrier, so it's a tender for your gunships. You want to bring out, you can take up to 4 of them on this thing, and you can jump with them or just go with the outer system. And there's the deck plans for it, and Adventures in Umemi, which I like. Wildeman itself, and then the geyser system craft used in Wildeman. And just waiting for it to load. There we go. The Wildeman system itself right there. And a closer look at the planet itself. There you go. Just really nice. And this is what I buy a traveler book for. Here's Adventures in Wildeman. This has a lot of stuff. There's a big spread in this. You can go and read about this area and maybe build your campaign in this area, but there's also plenty of stuff in here that you can just lift and port to some other section of your travel universe. Whatever you want to accomplish in your game, you don't have to set it here. There's plenty here you can lift and move. One of the things I loved about this as I was reading it, the settlements on Wildeman, they use airships there, which is pretty cool. I like old tech like this, but still being used. It's tech level 7, but it's being used there. Then we go to the Voidsedge cluster, which is another area right there in the Borderlands subsector, and we get the same treatment. We look at Argona, its system, and then we get a look at the planet itself, and then we get some nice different urban areas. We get some starports we take a look at. We look at some downports, some downport towns, that kind of stuff. Lots of stuff in this book. We go to planet Ergo, our system Ergo, and the planet itself, and Adventures, Xe or X, however you want to say it. And then Falcon. There's the system. There's the Falcon Hub Spaceport, which is a nice little look. This brought me all the way back to the early 80s and looking at some of the Judges Guild stuff. This thing looks like hearts, or lungs rather, and a stomach to me, but that's pretty cool. And just all kinds of stuff. There's just so much traveler goodness in here. And urine, I know my players are going to giggle when they say that because the word urine is in there, but in urine and the system itself and Confederation of the Preconia Seas. So some of the planetary power groups are brought out in this too. So that, like I say, there's just a ton of stuff in here and a ton that you can easily add to any campaign, any science fiction, 2.6 science fiction campaign. This is a robotic defense system, which I thought was pretty neat. And we get a look at Sax Corp, which uses a lot of technology. And then Tech World, or Adventures rather, in Urine. Spurl, the system itself. Now we get the planet. There it is. Big old amoeba that they go through and they harvest stuff right from the inside the amoeba. Just all kinds of clever stuff in here. Tech World, I really like Tech World. Tech World's going to find a home somewhere else in my travel universe. Much as I love this area, I have no immediate plans to go in this area for Pirates of Drinax or the Wildeman Cluster or anything. Simply because I have a campaign going now with another one on the burners, getting ready to go. So for the time being, I'm not going to be going here, but I am going to lift some stuff here, and Tech World's one of them. It's just a small world that's been settled by basically power groups, and they really work on having high tech, all kinds of automation. Robots of Tech World, we get a bunch of different robots looked at here. Mercuria. This guy's kind of an assassin bot. And then we get a couple of others. I just think that's so cool. And fabrication chambers. Now, Exoset. We get another look at the system. What you can do there. Details of the planet. This is the kind of book that I absolutely love. This is the stuff that keeps me coming back to Traveler. It's such a nice big book with so many different toys in it. And I'm not going to show you the end of it. And the reason is we have the adventure into the Borderland. There are a lot of NPCs called out in this and some other nice tech stuff, but I'm not going to take a look. And then we have an index of the maps brought out in the book after the adventure into the Borderland. And then finally, we have just a general index for the book itself. So, Mongoose, yes, congratulations. Hit out of the park with this one, in my opinion. This was a book I was anticipating and was not disappointed in the least. I think you guys nailed it. I think this is kind of a, if I was introducing somebody to Traveler and they were going to be reading Traveler for the first time, this is the kind of book I would say, okay, here you go. Sit down with this, enjoy a little bit. You'll get a nice flavor of everything that Traveler is supposed to be right here between these covers. So, Mongoose, excellent job. I really enjoyed it. I love the look. I love the feel. Very immersive book. You can go ahead and jump into it and just enjoy it a lot. We get a little bit in the beginning of other things you can read for the area. I don't ever mind that. I like a little bit. I just don't like it in the way of the clans. That was a little intrusive on the text. This is not. It's its own little section telling us what we can do to read other adventures that have taken place in this area. So, excellent job, Mongoose. I am thrilled to have this in my library. I recommend it. I really recommend taking a look at this guy. This is what a Traveler book should be, in my opinion, and I think they absolutely nailed it. So that's all I've got for today on page 121. Let me know what you think. Have you read The Borderland? Did you like it? Are there some things I missed or glossed over? Hard to cover a 250-some page book in a 20-minute video. As I said, I might come back and take a look at some of the individual systems and planets in future videos. So let me know if you're interested in that. But accolades to Mongoose for hitting this one out of the park. Martin Doherty, always a great job writing. And that's all I got today on page 121. I thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Tell your friends. Also take a look at Patreon, see if there's anything you can do to help me out there. And I'll see you next time on page 121.